I'm going to hold my mouse wheel down and just kick it over a little bit so I can watch what happens. And then I'm going to go to transform, translate. It says select. Now if you hold the shift key down and click on one of the lines, it'll do everything that's connected. Okay.
Okay.
So transform, translate. And then when you select your lines for your box, it should show up as a kind of a hidden line, dashes, yellow and blue. You have that? Good. Over here.
Yeah, I got it like that.
Okay. So the easiest thing at this point is now the first section here, we have copy, move, and join. What we're going to do is add some three-dimensional depth to it. So we want to join. And the easiest thing down here is go to where it says delta, which is change. And I'm going to highlight the Z and go minus 1.5.
My join doesn't work.
Okay, let me make the rounds here. So let's, okay. Now we should have a box with the little coordinates on top. That's going to be our stock. I'll go over to my levels, and I'm going to highlight the 4 and change it to a 1. And then I like to maybe call this a wireframe, because now we're going to draw the part. And we can either leave the box here, or we can turn it off by clicking the X on the number 4 row up here on the left. You can turn it on or turn it off. I might turn it off. I don't need it. So we're kind of back to square one here. We're going to peek over at our drawing, and the finished dimension is 2.75 square. So we're going to go to wireframe, rectangle, 2.75, 2.75. I'm going to uncheck and then recheck the anchor to center button so that it's active. I'm going to drop it right in the middle there. I'm going to click the green checkbox.
So don't click the green checkbox before you center it.
Yeah, green checkbox is the last thing when it's all in the right spot.
Okay.
You're happy with it. When you're happy and you know it.
Then
Clap your hands.
All right, we gotta give it some depth. Sometimes I like to hold the mouse wheel down and roll it up just a little bit so I can kind of see things happening when I'm working with it. If I peek over here at my print again, I see it's 1 1/4 tall. So we're going to give this some depth by what? What do we want to do?
transform,
Yep. Transform.
Translate.
translate.
Translate. Very good. And you can select these individually or hold the shift key down, click on just one of them, and they all get selected. End selection. Make sure this first column up, make sure this very at the top of the column here, make sure that says join. When that says join, when we go straight down, that draws lines between the original and the new copy of it. In this case, since we're going straight down, what it does is put the vertical lines in on our cube.
And what would copy do?
Just copy for, it'll erase it from where it's at and make a new one where it's going to be.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So copy would be like a whole new part.
Yeah. It just, copy is taking the coffee cup off the table and putting it down on another spot.
Okay.
It takes a, I'm sorry, I said that a little bit wrong. Copy
Takes an image.
leaves
takes
the
this
original
image,
there
right,
and puts a new version of it
next to it.
in a new spot.
Okay.
The cut, or the move takes it away and puts it in a new spot. So, move is sort of like cut and paste.
Okay.
So I got the highlighted Z here, I'm gonna go minus 1.25. When I hit the enter button, I'll see my new square has been moved down, and the joining makes those verticals. And I like it, so I'll click on the OK button. What's the shortcut key to make this like that?
Alt 1.
There. Yeah, you guys remember.
How you turn the picture around?
Like this.
What's Alt
Uh-huh.
F1?
Fit the screen.
Suit
Oh, okay.
zooms in or something.
And F2 zooms out. Fit the screen, orient. The wheel, the middle, Ken, the wheel.
Right.
Push down on it and then move the mouse. Is that working? Is it doing like mine?
Yes.
And then if you want to look at you want to reorient it, Alt 1. You want to make it as big as possible in the. Okay, so there's our. Let's go. I'm gonna go take a reference check on our print. And let's put some circles in it, some holes. These are 203 in diameter. Now we could put them all on the same level that says wire. I tend to like putting different features on different levels so I can isolate them when I'm clicking on toolpaths. So I might come down here and say number 2 and put in a description. Bolt circle. And notice number 2 is active, so anything we draw is going to be on number 2 level. Well, I want to draw a circle. Where would I find the circle?
Wireframe.
Yeah, wireframe. And I'm going to click on circle. And I'm going to come down here now. It says select a center point. So we could select the center point. Notice it gets, we could click on other features. See how I can click on that midpoint or the corner. But I'm going to come over here and highlight the top of this box. Where is it? Diameter. I'm going to highlight diameter and type in 0.203 and enter. And then green checkbox. And this is, you should have a little circle right in the middle. Yeah, circle?
Yes.
You can look?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
On the numbers right there on that column, it goes 1, 2, and 4. Why did we use 4 for that one? Let's start.
Why did we use 4?
Yeah.
We just a holdover from when I was in the shop writing programs. We'd have a basic Mastercam file. When you got ready to program a part, it already had all the levels laid out and labeled, and it had, some certain parameters already set. So every time you wanted to program a new part, you didn't have to create all of these titles and different levels. They're already there for you. And it also made it more uniform across the shop between different programs. You can go to any program, and 4 was typically the material for the part. 1 is typically the wireframe. 100 would be used for tool pathing for operation 1. 200 operation 2. 300 operation 3, and so on. So it was, and all those levels were already labeled, so you could just click on it. So it doesn't have to be 4. Just, you know,
Right, it's just a
reminiscent.
consistency of like knowing that number 4 is always a square or what?
Always the stock.
It's always a stop.
Stock, yeah. And that was just what we did at the shop. You don't have to.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to. I just call it old habits.
Okay,
If
right.
you would.
No, yeah, well, I was just curious because wireframe is 1 and then, bolt circle's 2, but all of a sudden it's 4. I thought it was just.
It's just a method of keeping track.
Okay, right.
And
Instead of like regular 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever.
you can.
Okay.
You can do that. Sometimes we skip numbers so that if you started drawing features for the part, if you, just like when you're writing code, when you start out writing code, if you wrote code and numbered the lines 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go, oh, I need an extra line of code between 2 and 3.
Right.
So now I gotta renumber everything.
Okay.
So it just means that this check mark, this X is in the visible column, active or not active. Either way, so we're looking at this, we look back at our drawing, and keep in mind there's different ways of creating a bolt circle. This is just one way I chose. It's in the center. We're going to move it to the outside of the bolt circle, which would be half of the bolt circle. So we're going to, Mastercam can do math for us. So the bolt circle is 2 1/4. So if let's start with this. We're going to go to transform, translate. What's it say up here? Select entities to translate. So I'm going to either window or click on the circle so it shows up a little blue and yellow. See that? And that's all I want to translate, so I click on End Selection. And we're going to move it. This top portion of the column here, I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it in X. What was the size of my bolt circle, the diameter of my bolt circle?
2.25.
0.203?
2.25. Is a 2.25 is a bolt circle diameter.
Oh, okay.
/2.
Yeah, so just like Ray said, we're going to type that in. Now /, which is right above the number 8 on the number pad, is your divide sign. And we're going to divide by 2. When I hit the enter button, you should see that little circle fly out to the right.
So put 2.25 and then the divide sign,
Yep, and then 2. Divide it by 2.
and then hit enter?
Yep.
Oh.
Now, well, you can do that. You can just enter the radius amount to move it over straight up. But I do that to show you that Mastercam can do some math for you.
Just to show that there's other ways.
Yeah. Then we're going to click on the green checkbox. So everybody got a starter hole at, what's that, 3 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to keep this transform window open and we're going to go over to rotate. Rotate. We're going to rotate this little circle about the center of this part. So we're going to select the circle, click on End Selection. Now over here, because I want to replicate it, I'm going to click on Copy. Copy. Now if we look at our print, that's 45 degrees between circles. So this angle right here, I'm gonna make that 45. And if I hit the enter button, you'll see it click over 1. If I highlight that in the right above the angle, it says number, and it's instances. What that means is how many times does it happen?
7.
7, yep. And then hit the enter button again, and you should see a pattern of 8 circles, with the red one being the original one at 3 o'clock.
Oh, I have 4 now.
Got too many of them?
No, I don't know what's this.
We have this. We'll move forward a little bit. In this case, at this point, well, I want to add some depth to the circles. So on yours, Ken, you're just going to add the depth to the one circle for now. I'll come back and help you get some more circles. Let's turn off the square so it'll be out of our way. And we're going to go back to transform and translate. And when it says to select entities, I'm going to make a window around all of those circles. And end selection. And over here in this top bar on the column, I'm going to make sure it says join. I don't remember what it was, so I got to look at the print again real quick. 380 D. So down at the delta, we're going to go minus 0.38
On Z.
on Z.
0.38.
And then we should click on the green checkbox. And hopefully you have a pattern of red circles over a pattern of purple circles connected with a vertical line. Do you have one? Is yours?
Yes. I have that. Only line, I don't have a C.
You just have one though, right?
Right.
Okay, so that'll work for the next operation. You get the pattern?
Yeah.
Okay, doing good, Ray?
So I got a question.
Yes.
Like for his.
Okay, so now I'm gonna activate my
Wireframe?
wire, and let's see. You know what? I'm gonna switch a little bit. I'm gonna turn on the stock only. The stock only. Okay, so you should have just a plain box. Okay. And then down at the bottom here, at the far left, says toolpath. I'm going to click on the toolpath.
Mine is acting brand new, but well,
Is what?
it's not letting me just uncheck the bolt circle, but we can proceed.
So we'll go back to plane, plane levels. So
Make sure the check mark's
Put the-
on the one.
yeah, make sure the check mark's on the level with the stock, and then you can